Today I have weird one for you, but it's performing well, so hey, who cares? It's weird. It's just not that everybody is playing, is not what you see on most of logs or I guess most of streams what people are playing. It's something different, but it's working, so it's good. Some important stuff need to be said about the build on the beginning. There's two big negatives. First big negative is you need 4 piece, and it's a little bit like you need to go to raid to get 4 piece, but then you need to have 4 piece to healing in the raid. It's a little bit weird, but yeah, don't use this build when you don't have 4 piece. Just use what everybody else is using. I will have guides for that also. And on the other hand, you can get your 4 piece without even visiting raid in few days, as you will have a 3 catalyst and 1 token from 2000 dungeon score. And our second negative is that you won't heal best health per second on the world. You won't be first in the logs and probably not as great for mythics. So the ceiling on health per second is lower than the build everybody's playing, but the average I would say is much higher and is much easier to achieve. So the positive of the build, you can really just chill in the raid. You don't need to plan anything, you don't need to think about it. It's very easy to learn and very easy to master. We don't plan some big bursts, we are just sustain healing. We are healing a little bit, but always, we are almost always ready to pump some little heals here and there. And that will do some nice overall. I'm easily keeping on 240,000 health per second, and I was trying it in heroic raid, and I was not breaking any sweat. I have still 50-60% mana on every fight, so it's much better for mana sustain. It won't give you unlimited mana, but will give you a lot of healing with not much mana use, because in conventional build you are using mana always on rejuvenations because you need to plan 30 seconds ahead. And you are just using mana on rejuvenation, and then somebody click cooldown, some revival or rewind from a walker. My every single heal is overheal because I prepared but it was wasted. But I needed to prepare so much and spend 35% mana on just that one burst. Sorry, somebody else did it. So this makes you absolutely chill and absolutely easy, so I really recommend this build for some beginners, newer players that are struggling with the druid, and of course they have 4 piece. But in a few days there's absolutely no problem to get 4 piece absolutely free, and then you can just hop in the raid and blast those shiny numbers. Before I start about the build, I want to let you know I have exactly the same guide in text on Discord, so if you miss something or you want to see some priorities or something like that, start priorities also on one place to gather every information, so you can just quick check it with your eyes and really know what is happening. Quick refreshments of memory, then you can find it on my Discord in text. I'm recording this video and checking that guide, so it's exactly the same guide. From stats, it's again haste. A lot of haste. We love haste on restoration druids. We love a lot of haste. Go up to 6,800, that's the diminishing starting. So don't go higher than 6,800, but that's good place to be with restoration druid. We don't need, with this build, use as many abilities as soon as possible, but haste is still increasing how many times your healing over time heals. And this will be very important because everything will be about life blooms and hot on the life blooms, and every single tick we get extra will increase chances for our procs that will be healing a lot. So yeah, really important to have haste, absolutely top priority. Second stat is mastery. Don't go full mastery because of course mastery is very good, but with this build we have even less healing over time effects on the people on the raid. So we are not profiting as much, but it's still very good to have some 4,000 is idle place for you. It's very good to have some because we will be healing through Nourish a lot. And Nourish have 300% effectiveness from Mastery. So Mastery is a really nice combination, and it's probably, I have some logs from Volkoros, Precis, Nourish, Vigrowth. You can also see the numbers I have. It was healing decently, those Volkoros. We have 6 healers, so you really needed to fight for some health per second. It was Volkoros. And I think they heal nicely Lardal, Nimue. Then the second druid switched the same build, so we played exactly the same thing. So, Nourish. So that's why Mastery is nice blasting. And usually Nourish and Vigrowth will be, you can see, 219, and I ended fight with 62% mana, I think. It was something like that. So, absolutely chill. Nourish, Vigrowth, Verdancy, that's definitely not what you are used to see in raids, because usually Regeneration is the first. Now it's down here with only few casts. So yeah, it's a little different, but it's performing on some smolder, of course, some healers that on main characters that have mythic practice and gear and a little bit better characters to raid. Of course, they blast them more. but I was still chilling. I had 60+% mana, and absolutely chill. No rush. I was clicking heals, Nourish there, Valgo there, mana chill. I didn't spend 50 million % of my mana on rejuvenation. Absolutely chill. Sorry, a little bit I squeezed it between stats, but yeah, haste is priority. Then the second one is mastery. About 4,000, haste 6,800, ideal at least 5,000. Don't go for other stats if you don't have at least 5,000 on haste. And then there's versatility, critical, doesn't really matter. Just choose which one you like more. Let's look on real circles. So here's the talents, and I play with them a bit. One thing I'm not sure, I will think about it. I will think about use Scenario Ward. I need to try it. I cannot tell you what is better because I didn't try it. Abundance, I was checking my critical chance from my regrowths was quite decent, so not so bad. Is increasing critical chance by a lot. Of course, our mana cost reduced, we don't care. And the second thing, I started to think about Master Shapeshifter. If you actually have time with this build, you go to some Mumkin and blast Brats to regenerate 2,500, well, 2,500. That is costing 500, so just 2,000 mana, but still. Is 2,000 mana per second. That's decent. But yeah, you can try it. I didn't yet, but definitely I will try that. And otherwise, we are going similar stuff that we are using to dungeons when you want to just non-stop blast heals. And we are not playing also rejuvenations, many rejuvenation talents. We don't apply 2 of them because it's on a curve. You can have talent here or there, and we are definitely choosing Spring Blossom because it's much cheaper for mana utilization and it will spread on much more targets. So it does more healing over time effect on the rate, and then Mastery is more capable because we are casting a lot of Nourish, and Nourish have 300% effectiveness for Mastery. You can see it's over here in the Nourish. So yeah, quite much better choice. So just don't be confused and apply 2 rejuvenations at the same, you're not using that. And if you want really a little bit more Life Bloom healing, you can go here, but nah, I tried. This one is much more potent because it will still apply a little bit rejuvenations. So yeah, if you want these talents, you will find it under the description. A nice juicy import string. And let's move on. Gameplay priority rotation, whatever you want to call it. So some general information, I mentioned it a little bit more during the talents than I expected I will. So we are changing our raid healing more to our dungeon healing. We are putting 2 life blooms onto other targets, not on us. We are keeping efflorescence and we are putting more HOTS on life bloom targets. And that's our absolutely basic what we'll be doing. That's what we are keeping. And from that life blooms, we are getting procs of blooms. So that bloom will proc Verdancy. Verdancy will heal 3 targets in efflorescence. And also life bloom on its own have chance to proc our killer casting. It's 5% per tick of life bloom. And we have 2 of them. And that skill casting is casting Empowered Nourish is 200. When you cast Clear Casting Regrowth, Nourish will be casted. That Nourish is 200% more effective. Remember, it's 300% effectiveness on Mastery on its own because it's Nourish. That's how spell works. And then also 2 set applies to our Nourish. So we improve its healing even by another 80%. Additive, not multiplicative. So it's important. It's 40% each target, so another 80% bonus to that 200% increase Nourish, and then 300% for Mastery if you else enough HOT. So absolutely insane numbers we can pump without our set bonuses. So everything will be about the set bonuses and to proc that clear casting, and of course some Verdancy because we want life blooms to proc clear casting buff. Then we are spending on regrowths that are proccing our 4-piece and then 2-piece. So that's nice combination, and Verdancy is just side effect of that all. So it's just working nice together. And I really like it, because before I hated raiding with Druid. Oh, no mana, no healing, no mana, somebody else took it, I need to click here, but somebody else will heal, why I should click heals and then I'm not healing. And yeah, it's absolutely satisfying build to play in the raid, I must say. So let's go on priorities. Topmost priority is to keep 2 life blooms. Life blooms is absolutely crucial, you need to have them all the time. We don't use it on ourselves. Why? Because when we have 2 life blooms now, we want to focus more on proccing Verdancy. Like Verdancy is still very potent, look how much is healing. And this is a little bit weirder boss. I think I like Nimue because it's just sticking damage overall to everyone. So it's similar in Magmorax fight, so it's easy to see. But you don't need to pump little targets, like some targets drop much lower than others. This is just healing everybody just a little, so you can see nice bars. So verdancy is very potent, and verdancy, how it works. If you get Life Bloom to bloom, then we have verdancy talents, and when your Life Bloom blooms, up to 3 targets within your efflorescence are healed. So when Life Bloom blooms on end of the duration. That is that. When it expires this spell, of course, it will be expired in the Raider dungeon because there is nobody to dispel. But you have additional talent, that's photosynthesis, that while Life Bloom is on ally, your periodic heals on them have 4% chance to cause it to bloom. And that will be very important for us. Another mechanic of Life Bloom is the clear casting. Your healing over time from Life Bloom has 5% chance to cause clear casting state. That's 2 things we want from Life Blooms. So, the Life Blooms should be always active on other targets because we are going for the blooms, and that blooms will do healing through verdancy. And also, this doesn't matter how many hots you have on targets, we want clear casting that will heal through nourishes, that will be just casting, not the tree one, but the as one. Usually your nourish is quite overhealing, look at this, 65% because that heal quite a huge amount. So of course if there is not many targets that have low health, it's just pure overheal. But yeah, it can potentially to be much higher than trees one, because you can see trees is almost no overheal. It could heal much more. You have the same overheal percentage as a trees one. And then second important stuff is to have Life Blooms targets many other healing over time effects. So we will be placing rejuvenation, we will be placing regrowth, we will be placing buffs from efflorescence, and everything that is just another healing over time effect that have chance to Life Bloom to bloom. So as many healing over time effects on the targets with Life Blooms is very important to put there. So you should choose 2 targets, ideally on melee, because melees are usually standing in your efflorescence, and that's another hot that have another chance to proc that bloom and then verdancy through that. If some targets are dying much more than others, okay, then place them on them because it will be healing through the Life Blooms, but Life Blooms more or less will be overheal. It's 77%, so yeah. So you can place it on ranged, but they will lose 1 healing over time effect from the efflorescence. Of course, when ranged are standing in it, then you don't care. So you can put it even on tanks when they are dying. If there are bad guys, they don't really need it, but you can put it on a health per second. Otherwise on some melees, so they are standing in efflorescence. So yeah, our second priority then happening is efflorescence. What a coincidence! So very important to keep it. Of course, it's healing distantly, it's not a little, but it's also applying Spring Blossom, that's another hots, very important for Life Blooms, and also healing, and also very important for our nourishes because they 100% effectiveness on mastery. Once a mastery, everything is just nice puzzle, everything putting together, and of course verdancy, or mind source of heal from efflorescence. So one big package, everything together, very important to have 2 Life Blooms on target and then efflorescence under them. When we have these 2 items ready, then it is time for spamming our Group Guardians. It's costing very little mana, they are healing massive amount, they are almost never overhealing, and there are off global cooldowns, so anytime you are using any abilities, you can just click them, click rejuvenation, click rejuvenations, anything, you can just squeeze anywhere, so there is no excuse to not use them because they are so awesome. I didn't want to curse there. YouTube. From the 3 healing is Nourish again. They have a huge boost. With 2-piece, they are decreasing your 3 cooldown. You are spawning also Group Guardians when we're having our 3. So that's also many new trees that are spawning around. They're also blasting wild growth. It's not as good as ours, but of course, it's still decent healing. If there is not much to heal right now and more boost healing is required soon, then just keep 3 stacks, let it charge, and then just click it on the same time. And just have nice boost AoEs in a target, whatever they choose targets who need to be healed. So you can just keep 3 of them, at least 2 of them, when there is some boost, heavy healing, and then nothing between. After that, our next priority is wild growth with Swiftment. They should be almost always used together. So what they are doing together, when you use Swiftment, you are hitting hot, also you are healing a little over time. Another hot for us is also fast heal, so yeah, it's healing on its own. But the main thing is you are getting Soul of the Forest buff, and our Soul of the Forest buff is increasing 50% of healing of next wild growth. So we always want to use Swiftment, and after that wild growth. Wild growth is also of course AoE heals, but almost everything in the raid is AoE, so it's not like when AoE damage start using Wild Growth. No, when you need to heal a little bit more, use Wild Growth. That's our usually second most heal ability, as you can see here. Open, please, thank you. So Wild Growth is second, Nourish is the first one, Verdancy is the same mechanic as Nourish, Life Blooms and stuff like that. So it's healing nicely. So then we are getting to our main free pump, is our Clear Cast Regrowth. Clear Casting, we are getting proc from Life Blooms. Clear Casting is making our next regrow cost no mana. So we are saving mana already, regrow is costing no mana. Regrow is of course healing by its own, so it's nice heal. But then we have our set bonuses, and the 4th piece is saying consuming Clear Casting now causes your regrow to also cast Nourish onto nearby injured ally at 200% effectiveness, preferring those with your heal over time effects. So it's even choosing low health target, and is even choosing the best low health target that have some HOTS on it, so it's min-maxing healing, absolutely massive. It's 200% effectiveness. Keep in mind, Nourish that you are casting is about 4 times stronger than Nourishes your trees are casting. It is also stronger Nourish than the tree Nourish. And for that Nourish will be also applied your 2 set, so you and your group guardians Nourishes now heal 2 additional allies within 45 yards at 40% effectiveness. So that massive heal you will do will be increased even another 80%, so 40% each target. That make absolutely massive heal, and that's why we are pumping that Life Bloom uptime non-stop. So we have another Clear Casting. So this is our core of healing, so let me put it together. Life Bloom top priority on 2 targets, not on yourself. Best targets that are standing in efflorescence, keep it always up. We are prioritizing every single healing over time effect to put it on Life Bloom target. Then we are applying efflorescence always under the raid, and yeah, important to Life Bloom stand in it. For more healing we are starting using Grove Guardians, then even more healing, Swiftment or Wild Growth, and then we using our Clear Casting regrowths. Never just keep 2 stacks just lying around. Just when you have 2 stacks, just use it. If you have 1 stack and you want to use it later, alright, but 2 stacks, never keep it. Use it, it's absolutely free of mana cost, so there is no reason to not do. Also, one important reminder, when you are casting regrowths, don't heal with the regrowth targets with Life Blooms, or rather don't cast it on targets with Life Bloom. Because the regrowth healing over time effects, what is really important on Life Bloom targets, for them bloom, is shared on the targets with Life Blooms. So just cast it on some other targets. You have 2 targets you cannot cast, it's not that hard. Just cast it somebody else, they'll get that heal over time effects, and they definitely don't need to be healed more. If something, they will be healed with a Nourish and not with a regrowth, so never cast it on Life Bloom targets to keep that HOTS up anyway. You will bring 2 new HOTS to raid instead of just 2 if you cast it on Life Bloom target. So this is absolutely our core healing. It's costing very little mana to sustain and is quite pumping. You are just jumping around and waiting for that blooms and waiting for that Clear Casting regrowths, then you casting a little. So yeah, very satisfying, very easy. Not much to think about, not much to prepare for big bursts, and you can still do big bursts when you cast 2 Clear Casting regrowths and free some trees during the burst phase. If you want to do even more, we are going for rejuvenations. Yeah, in priority is quite lower, but keep in mind, just keep applied 2 rejuvenations on your Life Bloom targets. It's a huge difference. So yeah, spreading more rejuvenations is quite low in the priority list, but 2 rejuvenations on Life Bloom targets should be almost always applied, because more chance for bloom, and blooming is our Verdancy, and Verdancy is healing nicely and not costing us much mana. So we have already rejuvenations on Life Bloom targets, and we have a lot of mana, and let's just spend it. Why should we end fight with 100% of mana, 90, 80? We just didn't use our mana. Let's end the fight a little bit lower and heal a little bit more. So then we are just keep spamming rejuvenations. Ooh, some healing is coming, some healing. Some damage is coming, we need to do burst healing or something like that. Let's spread rejuvenations. Or a little bit more heal. Ooh, some people are dying a little bit more. Rejuvenation, 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 rejuvenation. Just click it as you feel fit for your mana. And ideally to cast rejuvenations when you have your Tree of Life buff up, because in the tree your rejuvenation is healing 50% more and is costing 30% less mana. So important to save a little bit mana, and it's also healing much more. So if you have tree form, yeah, that's quite a good thing to do, just spam rejuvenations. Of course with the Wild Growth on cooldown, because Wild Growth is also better in the Tree of Life form. And then long nothing on priority list, and on absolute bottom is Regrowth without clear casting. Our Abundance is also kept on 12 stacks now, so we never get 100% critical and 0 mana cost, so that's why old style is not viable anymore. And yeah, it's best to cast when you have 12 stacks Abundance, but it's best to never cast it without clear casting, as it's eating your mana and it's not healing as much, because previous set was even increasing healing over time effect our Regrowth, so it was a little bit more important even. And use that non-clear cast Regrowth if it's just question of life or death, if you save somebody by that cast, because somebody is on 2% of health and you put it on 15 and he will survive, then just go for it. But don't think about Regrowth with no clear casting as normal way of healing rate. Nah, it's just a really tight situation when you can really save somebody's life with just casting few Regrowths. Now it's time to talk about cooldowns. So for cooldown, let's start with Nature Swiftness. Best use is when somebody is on low health, you need to fast strong heal, click Nature Swiftness and you will cast instant empowered Regrowth on the target and costing no mana. If you don't need to save somebody, just use it regularly on cooldown, because that Regrowth is costing 0 mana, so there is 0 reason to not use it. Also Nature Swiftness cooldown is costing 0 mana, so yeah, just use it for a little extra free heal. And keep in mind, Regrowth casting this way is empowered. Flourish is not as good as it was before, it got a huge nerf. Now the most important role of Flourish is to extend our HOTS duration, and with this build is even less important. But less important doesn't mean it's bad. It's short and cooldown now, so we can use it more freely. Best uses for Flourish is as many HOTS as possible spread, but we are not spreading as many HOTS as we are not playing, you know, just a rejuvenation spam as everybody is playing. And so more HOTS you have, more profit, but usually after you cast your Empowered Wildgrowth, it's good time to use your Flourish. Or after you cast Tranquility, then you can cast Flourish too, but remember, when you cast Tranquility, then cast Swiftment, then cast Wildgrowth, and then cast Flourish. You will get also extend on Tranquility, because you have time to cast one Swiftment, Wildgrowth, and your HOTS from Tranquility will be still up to be extended. And extending duration of Wildgrowth is doing nice health per second, so that combo together is best choice. Usually just Empower, or rather extend Tranquility is not as huge, just combine it with Wildgrowth for the best value. Tranquility, classic big AoE heal in raid, as many healers have. You click it, you heal a lot, and you can use it with that combo with Flourish, but of course always use it with Wildgrowth too. The reason we are not using Wildgrowth before Tranquility but after Tranquility is that Wildgrowth is healing more on the start of duration and then is diminishing over the duration. So important for Wildgrowth is to extend it immediately when you cast it, so that's why it's important to cast Tranquility first, because Tranquility HOT is healing always the same amount for whole duration. So it doesn't matter when we are extended HOT and when we cast Wildgrowth, it's best time to immediately follow with Flourish to get as much healing over time from that ability as possible. Then we have Innervate. Innervate is making your abilities cost less mana. Now it's nerfed a little bit again. Now its duration only 8 seconds, not 10 as before. But hey, it's still reducing our mana cost by 100%. So get ability used. When you have that, it's best to just spam some instant abilities, rejuvenations ideally, replace your Effervescence. That's the best to use, but usually you want to cast the rejuvenations. Don't cast Regrowth during that, because even when you have clear cast, it won't be procced during Innervate. Then we have Tree of Life, our big cooldown, replacing our Cornwalk. Tree of Life is increasing all our healing by 15%, so it's always good time to use it, because it's increasing everything. It's healing more. That's nice. But also it's empowering our abilities. So our most important abilities, what is empowered, is Wildgrowth, is healing 2 more targets. Very good, very nice, very important. And it's also increasing healing from rejuvenation by 50% and decreasing his mana cost by 30%. At Wildgrowth, we want to cast almost on cooldown always, so that shouldn't be an issue. If you have Tree form, Wildgrowth with Swiftman is ready, just use it, cast it, no brainer. But when you have Tree of Life form, it's a little bit more important to cast rejuvenations, because they are cheaper and they are hitting much more. So if you just want to spam a little bit more rejuvenations to little bit use your mana actually, then use it during Tree of Life form. And that's good time to start spreading some rejuvenations. Of course, it's nice to combine it with Innervate, because 0 mana cost, increase healing, profit, you know. That will be all from me. I still have some testing, maybe I will bring up some new tricks to there. Probably not something huge, but you know, still some improvements. Just check the description if I find something new. If you want to see me play this build, I will link a full hero grade when I tried that build and I played it whole dungeon. clear all the bosses so you can see how I'm learning what to use best with that build. I'm analyzing how much I healed, what I used, what happened, so you can learn from that. So link will be also in the description. And anyway, thank you for watching. Think about liking, subscribing is helping a lot, and goodbye.